All right, a live look at the capital city right now, where it's hazy now, but it's going to be hot for a different reason. Folks are gearing up for 3 days of fine music in the park. The Greater Hartford Festival of Jazz is returning next week. I want you to say hello to Charles Christie, president of the Greater Hartford Festival of Jazz, and James Antonucci, director of music at the fabulous, can I say that? Fabulous Hall High School, always known for their music. Gentlemen, good morning to you.
Good morning.
And
good morning.
Great morning, because this has been going on for over 3 decades, but there's been a little bit of kind of a reinvention in the last 2, right?
Yes. We've just grown by, like, right after COVID hit, everybody was down, didn't want to really come out. And then the year right after COVID, we got great support from our sponsors, and we were able to deliver a fabulous event. And then last year, James and his team came along with Hall High School to introduce, bringing the young people into it.
And let's talk about that for a second, because listen, I love jazz. I don't know the first thing about jazz, but I know I love jazz going all the way back to Dave Brubeck and Mose Allison, and you know, that's more blues. But how do you introduce this to a new generation?
We think about all the important seminal composers and performers. So Dave Brubeck, Duke Ellington, Count Basie, Ella Fitzgerald. If you come on next Thursday on the 13th, you're going to hear all of those arrangers and composers and performers.
Yeah.
We're going to take things from their library.
We're showing a video from last year's event, which was, you know, as you said, kind of like a return to old things new again. How do you keep it fresh? What is new at the festival this year?
So, believe it or not, new is like how you help people have a good time.
Right.
So we created this
Because it's not necessarily, I don't want to say it's not new music, there's always new jazz, but jazz is just deep-rooted in classics.
So the music portion, so it's an experience, right? So the music has to be good, the environment has to be good. So we created this new thing called Tent City, so that those folks that are in tents have their own section.
Really?
And that is exciting. It's going to be new. It means change.
That is new, yeah.
But in it, though, the music itself is top-notch sound system, top-notch artists, and across the board. So that's what makes it strong. You know, people like Eddie Palmieri and Mesa and Take Six
is Sunday night.
Yeah, and just, you know, the Blackbirds, and then our local people. So we never can forget our local.
The beauty of music, and especially jazz to me, is that you can find it just about in all other genres, for starters, and no matter what kind of music you're playing, if you are just whether you're busking on the streets or if you're in just a tiny little bar or club somewhere, you kind of just bringing jazz out a little bit, infiltrated. So this is kind of like a core for this festival, right?
Absolutely.
Ground zero.
Absolutely. The idiom of jazz, the genre of jazz, is so diverse and so expansive. And as Charles highlighted all the different guests, you're going to hear, whether you're into Latin jazz, whether you're into vocal jazz, your big band jazz, small group jazz, bebop, you know, post-bop, early New Orleans music, there's something for everybody. And your entrance point is that, and then you come to see these amazing performances.
And then you get introduced to something else in the process that's even better. Put the information up on the screen, would you please? Greater Hartford Festival of Jazz returns next weekend. We'll put that up. There it is, July 13th, 16th at Bushnell Park. It doesn't get any more central talk about Ground Zero than that. If you want more information, there's the website. Of course, we'll link it to you at fox61.com. I love the way you said jazz is an experience, and it really does need to be experienced. And I know you at Hall High, obviously, sharing that experience with the next generation. That's wonderful.
So
Continued success, gentlemen. I hope this goes really well for you. And here's to another 32 years.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
All right, that's a